and really how we move forward and how we can show up for the community. Brief history. I know that we have a lot of new members, and I think it's important to know our history. We have not been here for very long. The co-op was formed in 2014, and we had our first full year in 2015. And 2016, we joined National Co-op Grocers, which is a national co-op of co-ops. There's 150 food co-ops that we're a part of. Each co-op is its own independent, autonomous organization, making our own decisions and everything like that, have our own boards. But as part of the association, we are able to share resources, and we get better pricing on supplies and different food products and things like that, and a lot of professional development that has really provided a lot of value to us, provided a lot of value that we can pass on to the community, and helped us be better managers as well. And in 2017, we became profitable. I don't think we would have been able to do that without the help of National Co-op Grocers. So, that was a really important milestone to reach. But also the community just showing up over those first few years. There's just always been so much support from the community and our members just shopping at the co-op, and we continued to grow. 2018, we did 3.3 million in sales. By that time, way beyond what any of us had ever expected. And we did a strategic planning process. As Annette mentioned, we adopted our 5-year strategic plan, had a lot of community process involved. The strategic plan took us 1.5 years to complete. And our 6 goals, which we updated as part of our strategic planning process, are listed here. On our website, you can see our whole strategic plan, and you can also you can see the full statements. These are just the quick bullet titles: thriving cooperative enterprise, equitable and affordable access, local food, leader in sustainability, community connection, and a model employer. And I really want to highlight that we put thriving cooperative enterprise at the top, and that's because we feel, or we recognize in our planning process that we have to have a thriving co-op business in order to do everything else, and that's especially relevant right now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about financials, but we have to take care of sort of the health of the co-op financially and otherwise in order to be able to do all of the other things that we want to do. There's a saying, no margin, no mission. And that's something that we think about a lot. So this year, as Annette mentioned, it's been a really wild past few months. As we were planning 2020, we were planning on our most profitable year yet, and sort of we were a little bit conservative on our planning, thinking there might be an economic downturn. The economy's been growing for a while, and so we were trying to be conservative. We only projected 2% sales growth, but none of us saw a pandemic coming, and so there was, I would say that we were caught off guard, like it seems like everybody was this spring, and we've had to pivot, and our budget for 2020 is, just had to be overhauled, and it keeps changing every month. And but our initial our response that I'm, really proud of and really feel good about is that back in March, when we first saw that the pandemic was becoming serious, and recognizing that Orcas Island has a high population of high-risk individuals, that we decided that we wanted to take the strongest response that we could, and that was shutting our doors for in-store shopping and building out an online shopping system to do curbside pickup and home delivery. We also wanted it to be accessible to everybody, so we've provided that service without charging extra. We've had a sliding scale optional fee, which has worked. We've demonstrated that that sort of system can work, and people voluntarily contribute what they can according to their means, and that shutting the doors to in-store shopping allowed us to actually focus all of our energy on curbside pickup and home delivery. And if we had stayed open, we just wouldn't have had the capacity to do it all. And so that's there's multiple considerations to that. Safety, number one, safety of our staff and our community members. But also just in order to really put all of our effort into getting the new systems going. There's a lot of stores around the country that have curbside pickup as an option or delivery as an option and also are open. And there's very few stores that have tried to do 100% curbside pickup and delivery. And so there was no template that we were able to follow. We were just making it up literally overnight. And it's really a testament to our management team, just the talent that we have. There's just no way that we could have done it. And Libby joining the team was really huge, to give us another dynamic person that could just get things done. As most of you probably remember, we made that switch pretty much overnight. Yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit now about the financials. There's so much more we could talk about that transition and the COVID response of the co-op, but I really want to get into the financials. And then there's also a lot of programs that we've created to assist in getting food out to people and addressing food access and things like that. And the other managers are going to address some of those. So I wanted to show you sort of the weekly sales starting at the end of March, right when we switched to 100% curbside pickup and home delivery. On March 23rd, that was actually March 23rd, we were closed. March 24th was our first day. But that first week as we transitioned, people were getting used to the online system, and it was just kind of a flurry of activity. Our sales took a big hit. We were the week before that, we had done, we were doing something like 60,000 a week. And so our sales went down to 30,000 the next week. And that was not a surprise. That was kind of, we expect to have an adjustment. We're used to having a lot of sales to non-locals and to visitors to the island. And that went down to zero, of course, when we made that switch. And so the 30,000 is all locals, because those are the only people that were shopping with curbside pickup and delivery. So on the left, you can see 2019 sales, and then the numbers on the right are the 2020 sales, and you can see side by side. And I highlighted in green the numbers for April, where there was sort of the height of the shelter in place order, and when most people were staying home, and there was the most interest in the curbside pickup and delivery. At that time, we were exceeding the sales of the same week the year before. And from there, once you get into May, we started seeing more people out and about, more people, wanting to shop in store, not as many people sheltering in place. And I think there's a lot of reasons, why shopping online or having to order the day before doesn't work for everybody. And so I think some people that had been doing that had been prioritizing the most safety that they could have, back in April, started to, be willing to accept a little more risk in order to get their groceries, in order to be able to go in a store. And so at that time, we were continuing to just take it week by week and develop new systems. We hired Sarah Pelfrey to help us build out a delivery system that could be available for everybody. We've sort of revamped that and developed some other systems. But we saw our sales continuing to decline. And so we decided to jump on the opportunity to open the Co-op Mini in the Peter Fisher Gallery space when that space became available. And that's about the end of this chart. The middle of June is when we opened the Co-op Mini. And so you can see we had our lowest sales week was 36,000, which is less than half of what we would normally do that time of year. So when we opened the Co-op Mini, sales picked up. And now that we've opened the main store for limited hours, we're open 9 to 4 every day in the main store. We're open 4 to 7 in the Co-op Mini. Our sales last week were about 75,000, and this week will be around 70,000. So our sales are back up. The combination of the curbside pickup and the delivery, which we're still getting right now we're getting about 20 orders a day, curbside pickup and delivery, and then the rest of the shopping is inside. Back in April, we were doing about 80 orders a day online. So right now we're doing about 25% of the peak. We've done about 8,000 curbside pickup and delivery orders over the last 3 months. So I thought that was a pretty cool statistic. So the financials, the financial picture for the co-op, I thought the easiest way to sum it up is by looking at net income. So on the left, you can see our budgeted net income. We always have a seasonal fluctuation. We budget for operating in the red in the winter, and we make money in the summer. That's no surprise. Anybody who runs a business on the island knows that's how it goes. And so the trouble with that scenario is if you don't make the money in the summer, then you're already in the red in the winter, and then you're not going to make that up if you don't make it in the summer. So in our budget, we usually in quarter 2 and quarter 3. Quarter 2 is quarter 2 is April, May, and June. That's the quarter that we were closed. And you can see normally in quarter 2 and quarter 3, we are over $100,000 that we're expecting to be in the black, which is the profitable periods. And this year, what what we did was a little over $100,000 in the red for quarter two. And I'm going to show you how it's not as bad as it looks in a second, because we got PPP funding. But this is just the raw numbers in terms of what we actually did with our income and expense. And what we're expecting now, I'm projecting for quarter three that we're going to be profitable, but not nearly as much. Obviously, normally 76,000 in the black is a regular summer, and even though things have opened up a little bit, we're still not quite doing. We're still about 15%, 10 to 15% down currently for the month of July for sales. And I'm trying to be conservative because we really don't know what's going to happen. We're keeping our options open. If there's a spike in cases, we may reduce our hours in the main store further, or even go back to just having the Co-op Mini open. So it's possible that things could go smoother, and we could have higher sales and be more profitable in quarter three. But I'm trying to be conservative with that number, so that we can sort of plan for the worst and hopefully do better. Same with quarter four. We've invested in building out this delivery system and the curbside pickup. And if we're able to be open in addition to those things, even with less tourism, we're set up to be able to actually be in a much stronger place. That's something that it's important to think about, because we didn't just, when you're seeing these numbers in the red, it's not like all that money just went, just went away. I mean, we invested it in, it's mostly staff, and we were building out these systems, which took a lot of time and energy to create. And those are things that are going to be with us in the future going forward. And so we really feel like the co-op's in a stronger position now, but we do need to get through this COVID time, and we don't know how long that is going to last. Nobody does. So we did get a Paycheck Protection Program loan, which should be forgivable. The Paycheck Protection Program is forgivable if used for payroll. I think it's 60% has to be used for payroll now. It's the way it's designed pretty much perfectly fits the co-op scenario, because we kept all of our, we kept the same number of employees as we had prior to the pandemic. So, we basically maintained our payroll at the same level, and that's kind of what the program was designed for. If we hadn't gotten that, we would have had to make harder cuts, and we would have had to do something differently, because we wouldn't have been able to just keep our payroll at that level while our sales were as low as they were. And so when you use that $150,000 to sort of offset the loss for the year, it looks a lot better. We also decided a couple of weeks ago, the board voted to accept $150,000 economic injury disaster loan. These are both through the Small Business Alliance Administration, SBA. And so that's to help with our cash flow, to pad our reserves, make sure that we have enough cash to weather additional, difficult times the next year. So this is the 2020 net income with the Paycheck Protection Program money in quarter two, which is when we got the PPP funding. Instead of being 103,000 in the red. If you count that as income, which it should be converted to once it's forgiven, that would be 46,000 in the black. And so for the end of the year, even with the PPP funding, we'll still be in the red, but not nearly as much, minus 33,000. And definitely more manageable. Super grateful for the PPP funding. Let's see. So looking ahead, like I said, we also took the $150,000 SBA economic injury disaster loan, and our plan as we're looking ahead to next year is to try to maintain cash on hand of $150,000 or more. We want to remain flexible and nimble, which is literally right now, week by week, deciding what hours we're going to be open in both stores week by week. We're watching to see what happens with the county going to phase 3 potentially, and if there's additional cases in the islands, and sort of just taking the pulse and taking the temperature of the community as we go. We feel like it's really important right now that we don't get in a too defensive of a position and just hunker down, because now more than ever, as I mentioned earlier, our community needs our co-op to show up and needs our co-op to be strong, and we need the cooperative values to be out in the community and active. We're still planning to go ahead with the Olga store, but we want to do it in a thoughtful way, and that's sort of been our approach this whole time anyway, because we were expecting that there might be an economic downturn. Our whole plan with the Olga store has been to do it in a low-cost way. We're only planning on a $50,000 to maximum $75,000 cost to start up the Olga store, and I think that we'll be able to do that and still maintain cash around $150,000. So the timing of that is probably over winter, and we wouldn't expect anything to be open at this point, probably till next spring. That timeline could change. And Natalie's going to talk a little more about the Olga store later as well. And beyond that, we're also just going to stay open to other needs that might arise in the community and other ways that the co-op can use our great capacity that we have, not only our financial resources, but our human resources that we have in our team, our board members, and our amazing management and staff. And we're physically located right in the heart of town, and we just have a ton of creativity on our team. So we want to stay open and keep our eyes out and see what other opportunities come along. With that, I'm gonna introduce Natalie Minacho, our amazing operations manager.
Yay! Thanks so much, Lerner. That was a really great presentation, and I love that we have that transparency within the co-op to really show our financials and where we are as a team, because we're all on the co-op team, everyone on this call. Thanks to everyone who is joining us. So I'm Natalie Minacho, the operations manager of the co-op. I've been with the co-op for about 4 years. I started as a volunteer, then went to grocery buyer, then into grocery manager, and now have the role of operations manager, while also those other hats that I went through. So part of operation management position is myself working with our team leads and management team to look at store systems and improve how we serve our community and do it efficiently. Another area is category management, where I like to make sure that we're meeting our shoppers' needs and offering a range of products that are going to really serve everyone at varying budgets. We always welcome your feedback on that too, of course. I also help oversee training and mentoring of our team leads to help grow their skills, grow them into leadership positions, and help manage their departments and stock levels. Also, just looking at facilities, how, like, when we have to add different equipment and change store supplies and things like that. So I do a lot of different things. Another area that I'm responsible for is for managing the Oddfellows Hall. And so earlier this year, the co-op partnered with the Oddfellows as a means to further deepen our co-op connection to our community. When I have my Oddfellows hat on, my manager hat over there, I'm overseeing the hall's classes and event bookings, renting out the kitchen for local food vendor use, and guiding tours for prospective renters. So as you can imagine, this has been a tough season for weddings, not a shocker. I've been actively rescheduling weddings for 2020. We're almost booked out for most of the summer. And I hope to include more information for our community, and I'm growing our local events here and classes, since we have so many great classes that are offered at the hall, from dance to martial arts to music. And we welcome the opportunity for more people to use the beautiful event space. It's so great for gathering and sharing wisdom and ideas. We're really looking forward to developing more opportunities for promoting education and social events, especially centered around food, especially like every time we've had a community conversation at the hall, it's just been such a fruitful place where we can connect with one another, share ideas, and create different programs for the co-op. And it just like expands all of our resources here on the island. So I really love that we've taken on management of the Oddfellows Hall, and I'm really happy to be working with the Oddfellows. They're really great people. So while of course our classes have been on hiatus for the past few months at the hall has actually been used as a community sewing space for sewing personal protective equipment, such as masks and gowns for our island's caregivers. So that's been a really awesome use of the hall. It was set up with several tables, very well spaced out. It was really nicely, the flow within it seemed really great for people who were making these different gowns, and the masks that we have on our website, where some of them were made in that facility, and they're also made from volunteers at home. So I'm so happy that the hall was used in this way, and I feel so grateful to the co-op board members and community members that participated in making masks and continue to participate. It's a really awesome thing. So in overseeing all these different areas of operations, I am in essence focusing on our co-op's resilience. So more than ever, like, this pandemic hit, and it really brought into focus the importance of our ability to serve and reach members of our entire community. So not just co-op members, but we continually ask ourselves, like, who do we need to reach? Like, who are we trying to reach? Who doesn't know about these programs that are here? So we're very pleased to announce that we have created a food access coordinator position, which is headed up by Sarah Pelfrey. And Sarah's focus is on communicating the co-op's options and programs to assist members from all segments of the community. And Sarah wrote up the following descriptions of the food access system that I'm going to go ahead and read right now. So availability is all about buying locally sourced items and expanding our available products to support the larger food systems in our islands, and to support our farmers, and to support a means for having access to great nutritious foods. Affordability, by utilizing the co-op's purchasing power, we can offer household basic items at affordable prices. So I'm sure that you've seen in store our co-op basics pricing, which is usually a purple tag, and those are just everyday low prices. Awareness. We are also working with local organizations like the Food Bank and Community Resource Center to create awareness surrounding our programs like our Fresh Butts programs and other ways we are striving to make food accessible to everyone on the island. Mobility. So due to COVID and in recognition of some community members with limited mobility, we have developed a great food delivery system. So not only do customers have access to our delivery system, but it also provides an additional method for providing access to our high-risk and homebound customers. And listening. So we understand that making food accessible takes a community effort, and we're actively seeking input from community members to understand the needs in a clear way and actively build relationships that will support food security on our island. Sarah is also accessible, and you can email Sarah at foodaccess@orcusfood.coop. So Sarah also created a really awesome shopping guide which we'll be making available in the store. And it's titled Shopping the Co-op on a Budget. And it is a sample shopping list for buying an entire week's worth of groceries for under $50. So it has sample meal plans and really speaks to the truth of how simple preparedness can be. And preparedness really gives us the opportunity to not only save money, but create resiliency for our household. So Libby will be talking more about how programs she's overseeing to help with that. So another area of the co-op where we're creating food access is our Olga Store project, which Lerner touched on earlier. So we're currently working on our lease with the Friends of the Olga Store building. It's been really great working with them. And I wanted to let you know that there is an online county hearing about our building permits for the Olga Store building and the plans for the post office and the co-op. And that's going to be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, July 22nd. The county has not yet put out an agenda or Zoom link for the hearing yet, and the co-op will be sending it out to membership when those details become available, but I just wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of save the date on your calendar. So we're really, really excited about this project. And we're currently planning out the store's floor plan, what our product offerings are gonna be, and how the community space is going to be situated. So it's gonna be a great gathering spot once that's safe for everyone. And it's gonna be a great hub for the east side of the island. It feels completely in line with our goal of creating greater resiliency for our community and providing better access to healthy food to more islanders. So I would now love to introduce my now very good friend and just co-conspirator here at the co-op. Our co-op development manager, Libby Geddes, will be telling us about her co-op roles and how they contribute to the co-op's resiliency and expansion. Thanks.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I really would love to thank the board for that exciting gift of a massage. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how much I am ready for that. And thank you for that honoring. That was a surprise. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm Libby Geddes, and I am the co-op development manager. And it's funny how things evolve. You know, life takes you from one step to the next, and sometimes you don't always see the big plan, but it all looks like a big plan in retrospect. Like Lerner said, we could not have seen this coming, what happened this year with the pandemic, but in some ways we've really been getting ready for it for a long time. And I feel so proud of the way the co-op, the values is what is behind. And I love that what Lerner said is that we are a cooperative that runs a grocery store, and that's really key. So like when we look at that, those numbers, you know, we look at the operating in the red, we also have to acknowledge that we were operating and we were employing people and we were feeding people, and we really did something that I think we should all feel very proud of, and are continuing to do that, and are continuing to pivot, and that we're agile, and that is really the way our co-op operates. And so with that, and through that, my role as the development manager has been to I sort of feel like it's, well, first of all, following Natalie around like a little puppy, because she's just brilliant. She's brilliant, and we're so lucky to have her. And it's an amazing management team. I feel so lucky. Everyone is so strong, and I feel very fortunate to be learning, you know, and really on my toes to keep up with the dynamic three that I am working with. I'm very, very grateful and in awe. The development manager is in ever evolving thing and in ever evolving time. But it's really about the physical development of the space and then what's next. So for example, you know, we were, you know, physically closed, and then we needed to come up with systems. So part of that systems and the physical space of how are we going to run the curbside. Like, remember, we've been inventing things each week, and it's been part of the part of our efficiency is to come up with and implement things quickly. So we then developed the Co-op Mini, which hopefully everyone has had a chance to get in and see. It's a very cool, smaller mini version of the main store. It's really the top 30% sellers of what basics people need and use. And it has really fit a niche. And I just want to state what our hours are at this week. And we're always open to and pivoting with what the needs are. But right now, the main store is open from 9 until 4 every day. And then the mini is open 3 to 7. So we're not competing with ourselves in the same hours of the day, but also as that need grows, we'll change it. We're extending the mini to be open later so that people can still come in and you know, get a quart of milk and some eggs and some avocados. So and then also part of the development management position here is to work with Natalie and Lerner and Regina on talent development. We have an amazing crew of people who have worked their bottoms off this last 3 months since is it only 3 months? It's just like, it's been really an amazing team. And we say, well, I've always had this time together that we, you know, really bonded over this period of time of really showing up and really feeling like, feeling satisfied of how we've been developing the needs of the community. Things have grown, like the whole Waldron Island community has really learned to rely on us now. We have a really strong continuing curbside delivery program with them. Let's see, I want to talk about the provisions. There it is, Co-op Wholesale Provisions. It's our new incarnation of our special orders program, which is especially important at this time. People are wanting to be prepared, and as they should be. And so this is, you know, what formerly was known as our special orders, where you would come into the store and maybe go through the catalog or maybe go online. UNFI changed their policy and how we could give access to our members. And so, well, this really is the brainchild of Lerner and Natalie, and they spoke the word at the same moment, provisions. And this is our wholesale online case bulk ordering, easy access for our members. So we now have, you can go right to our website, Orcas Food Co-op. Oh, there we are. Orcas Food. There's the website, our page, .com. And then on the right of the screen, you'll see buy in bulk. Hit that button. It will then take you to the next screen, which is the Provisions Co-op wholesale site. And there you can peruse. And it's as easy as it is to do the curbside. It's you just input your name and you shop it. And we have actually right now we have over 8,000 items in there, I believe, and more are growing all the time. This is the next screen of what you'll see, like as you add things to your cart, and then you put your order in, you will get an email stating how to, or you know, when your order will be available for pickup. I also wanted to talk about the co-op deals because there's co-op deals, you'll see those little tags in the store physically, and there's like more than 200 in the store, but in the provisions website, there's actually even more. There's over 800 right now, and that's always growing. And that just is amazing, double savings for buying wholesale. And you'll see the prices will be listed. So the prices are guaranteed. You see the price in there, and that's what you will end up paying for even if it changes during the week. You have a guarantee of your price. I think I kind of hit all of my talking points. I would like to now introduce the amazing Regina Zwilling, the co-op office manager.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Libby. I am Regina Zwilling, and I am the office manager for the co-op. I've been there since before we opened, over 6 years ago, and it's amazing to see the changes since when we first opened, and it's been really so gratifying, and I'm just so eternally grateful to be in a job that in these crazy times has allowed me to continue to have meaningful work with really amazing people and doing something that's necessary for our community. It's just been such a gift to work at the co-op and providing good food for our community, providing income to local farmers, doing so much good for our island. And so I just love that we can continue to do that. And also, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of changes. It's been a lot of learning. It's been stressful, and it's also been a lot of fun. And the fun comes from the fact that, working with people who are willing to dive in and say, we have no idea if this is going to work, but we got to try something. And it really has. So it's been an incredible ride, and I look forward to what this all brings to us in the future. My job as the office manager is bookkeeping. I pay the bills, I pay the invoices, I pay the employees. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of bills. So that definitely keeps me busy. I also help with the members, like getting new members in. And we've really grown our membership so far this year, which has been great. As you can see from the slide, we're now at 1,589 member owners. It's over 50% of households on Orcas Island. And in this year alone, we're up to 79 new members. And our goal for the year is usually 100. So just halfway through the year, and we're, way more than halfway to our goal of 100 new members. I think the provisions being for members was a big part of it. People were so grateful to be able to just pick up their groceries and know that they were doing it in the safest, getting their food in the safest way they could. The delivery, that definitely saw a big bump in new members when we offered the delivery option. So there's been a lot of gratitude from the community for what we're doing. And that has been obvious just in the way people sign up, right away when they see what we're doing. That's been really another fun part of it to see. Another thing that we've really grown is the charge account. So for many years now, I think within about a year after we opened, we set up charge accounts for a select number of people. And we've been offering it to our employees for even before that. And with the charge account, it's a house charge account. You buy your groceries or your items, whatever you're gonna get, and it goes on an account, and that accumulates. And the way we were doing it before, we had about 40 charge accounts before COVID started. And those were paid about twice a month, every 2 weeks or so. And it worked great. And it was a small part of very small part of our members and our sales. When the COVID hit, the only way we would have been able to take money since we were closed was by using credit cards. And everybody knows that credit cards have fees, right? And that adds up. That can really put a dent in our bottom line, and to the tune of about $48,000 last year. So by increasing our charge account access, we've been able to grow that program to over 400 charge accounts. I think as of Friday, we're at 414 people had applied for a charge account. So that's a tremendous growth. And it's allowed us to save enormously on the credit card fees. You know, not being able to take checks and cash for 3 months was definitely going to be an expensive proposition. And with a charge account, it doesn't cost us anything to offer people the charge account, right? So it completely avoids credit card fees. And that's another one where people they really appreciate the ability to just buy their items online, get their receipt through email, and then know that we're going to deduct the amount from their bank account and save the co-op just a lot of money. So that's been another piece of my work lately. We have probably we deduct the amount from members who have charge accounts. We deduct the money from their bank account to pay their charge account on a weekly basis now. And probably about 200 or so people use it every week. So it's a very popular option. And hopefully that will continue to be the case. It's real nice to walk into the co-op and just say, put that on my account, right? And you sign and you walk out and you're good to go. And so hopefully that will continue and continue to save us all that money on credit cards, which can then be put to paying our employees better and offering new products in the store and however else is best use of those savings for the co-op. So that's a quick synopsis of what I do on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not sure who's next.
Thanks, Regina. So I know I think we cumulatively went a little longer, mostly because of me. And we're gonna do questions. I think maybe Caitlin was gonna say something about that.
Hey everybody, I just have a few quick points. So this is a great time to get up and do a little stretching, get the blood flow flowing. And then in terms of Q&A, there is at the bottom of your Zoom screen, there is a Q&A button that you can use to type in your questions. If you would like to ask your questions audibly, you can raise your little virtual hand. That should be another button option. So we can see your raised hand and then unmute you. There most likely will not be time to answer all the questions, but Lerner mentioned that management can respond in the co-op newsletter or an individual email later. So we can save the Q&A list of questions. So yeah, I'll hand it over to members. Thank you so much to management. Those were fantastic presentations. And we can start with the Q&A. I see one already. And management, you can, if you see a question you want to take, go for it. You can self-organize. And let us know if you need support.
And yeah, I just want to encourage anybody to type in their questions, any question you have, because after this, we will go through them. And it would be helpful just to have a big list of questions all at once so we can go through them as a management team and respond in the beat or on the website or whatever. For whatever we can't get to today. So let's see. Okay, I finally got the Q&A screen open. First question is, when will we be able to order refrigerated items under provisions? I only want one item. Yes. So a lot of, in the past, with the special ordering program through UNFI, it was a relatively small part of our operation, and refrigerated items were part of what we were able to offer. And we've seen a lot of growth in the interest in ordering by the case, and since COVID started, and we decided when that happened, when we saw that growth, to limit special orders to just shelf-stable products, and that's still the case right now. We don't have a date that we're going to resume doing refrigerated products. We don't know if we will be able to. We're open to doing it. We're open to reevaluating, and we're trying to think of how we can do it. But it's a refrigerated storage capacity issue. We just don't have the space in our walk-in, and we don't have a space for, or plans or ability to put in another walk-in cooler. And so, unfortunately, at this time, that's just going to be the way it is. It's a hard thing to provide, an exception for one person and then tell somebody else they can't order. So it's, yeah, so that's the info we have right now on that. Can the emailed receipt that comes with when the money is deducted from our bank accounts clearly show the date? We are working on an alternative to that. I don't know if Regina, you want to say anything about that, but.
Yeah, so the email receipts, when you get each order, you get an itemized receipt that shows all of the options, the items that you bought, and at the bottom there's a total, and it also shows you a running total of how much of where your account is at. When I run the weekly charge account, payments from the bank, and that gets paid in our back-end system, that doesn't have the ability, like that's an automatic email that goes out, and it does not have the ability at this time to show exactly which receipts that was paying. Hopefully that is something that we can add on in the future, but is not available at this time. What you can do is you get the email receipts, keep track of that, and know that your orders are being paid on a weekly basis, ending on Wednesday before the money comes out of your account on the next Thursday or the next day.
Thanks. Has the relationship between the co-op and local farmers changed at all during this time? A little bit, but I would say not a whole lot. We typically work with a lot of local farmers for meat, for local meat, and also for produce. Before COVID even happened, this winter, we actually had decided we were going to reduce the part of the sale price that stays with the co-op and increase the amount that we're paying for produce, for a lot of the produce items with our farmers. So every year the relationship with our farmers changes a little bit. We have always charged a lower markup on local produce so that we could, give a higher amount of the proceeds to the farmer compared to the produce that we buy from the mainland. So in that sense, that that changed a little bit. That wasn't a COVID response, but it turned out that was a good thing to do, and we've continued with that. And in addition to that, initially in April and May, we had a spike in demand, and so we actually increased our ordering, and we reevaluated our buying relationships to try to accommodate, try to get more product into the co-op and get it out to the community. So, but it's been a moving target because we haven't been able to easily predict what the demand was going to be for local items. So. I have a question about, can we have the information from our purchase history data if we ask? Yes, on the charge accounts, first of all, you should get the email receipt, but in addition to that, at any time, somebody can email us and ask if you have a charge account or if you don't have a charge account and you just want to know your purchase history. We can always run a report for you and send you a PDF of all of your transactions if you want. So email Regina, bookkeeper at orcusfood.coop. We have access to tons of reports and she can set you up. I don't see any more typed in questions. Let me see how, okay, I see another question. can any customer now use our charge account in the physical store when we do our shopping? Yes. Yeah, we hope that people will use their charge accounts in the store. So how you use the charge account in the store is when you're checking out, you just say that you'd like to charge it to your charge account, and the cashier just hits charge account, and it comes up on the credit card machine. It'll just ask for your signature. So it's the quickest way to check out. Super easy, and the cashiers are familiar with people using charge accounts. So if you just say charge account, they'll know what to do. I can't see if there's any hands up. So if there are, I'm not sure. Can somebody tell me? Okay. I think since there's no questions in the queue right now, if more people want to type in questions before we end, you're welcome to. We'll keep them to address as we can, or email you or whatever. But I guess we're gonna move towards closing since it's 5:20. I just want to say as a closing statement that now is really a time for us to be bold as a co-op and to think big and just keep being creative. And we have been so busy the last couple months that we've been doing our best to keep the membership updated, but it has been hard. And I think, going forward, I really want to foster more engagement with our membership and with the community. So you can look forward to more of these town halls. Feel free to email us at any time. And we're working right now to update our business plan and put together plans for the Olga store and for other new opportunities that might come along. And so look for that coming up. And just the best way to support the co-op is to shop with us. And everybody who's shopping at the co-op, we just really appreciate it. That's really what it comes down to is everybody coming into the co-op or ordering curbside pickup and home delivery is what's enabling us at this point to keep our staff employed and do all the other things that we want to do. So just thanks to everybody for all your support. Any of the other managers want to say any closing words? Now is the time.
I would just like to say that I've really appreciated working with the team and with our amazing staff. We are hiring right now and would love to encourage community members to apply. We're a really fun team to work with. You gotta like change. You gotta like being able to change things up when it's needed. But other than that, it's a really, really great place to work. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much to our management team. Libby, did you want to say something? You're on mute. Are you good?
Oh, there I am. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, everybody, for supporting our co-op. It's our co-op, and I feel really proud to be a part of it, and I'm really and we're always here for to get feedback and to hear more and to meet the needs of our community. That's what's so amazing about this. It's not like working for the man. It's working for us. And so and thank you to the board. We have an amazing board, and I'm really proud and thankful of their dedication. So thanks.
Nicely done, everybody. I just wanted to put out a big gratitude of thanks for everybody who participated today, all of our customers and member owners who joined the call today, all the management staff, everybody who's part of the call. It's been so great to hear all these amazing voices and to be in one place at one time. So, and Lerner, thanks again. You're the guy, man. Way to go. You're so great. And we will have more future events. I don't know the actual dates for our upcoming event, but please do know that more is on the way and there's going to be great opportunities to connect as members. So good job, everybody.